I feel kind of pretentious now because since I've been smoking these more, my regular swishers are like, I'm like, oh, that's trash tobacco and shit like that. Like, I wouldn't have been like that before, but whatever. So now, it's just another video of me trying to work through stuff, I guess. I'm sick still. I know this probably isn't the best for it. I have some throat tea in there for when I'm done with this. I don't know, I wanted redemption for yesterday because I didn't light the one I had yesterday very good. It was very, it was weird. It just wasn't puffing the way I wanted it to, all this kind of stuff. It was like, and then I was getting tired, and then I was like, I ended up wasting half of it. I threw it away. Yeah. So I swear I won't smoke any tomorrow. But anyway, yeah. As usual, when I start one of these, I'm like thinking I don't have much to talk about, but I'm sure something will come up. I apologize because I have a stuffy nose right now, so my voice isn't. I mean, it might be coming through better than what I hear it. That tends to be what it is a lot of times when I'm sick, because I'm obviously the head that this nose is connected to. The way I hear my voice sounds weird, but then I replay it in like a video or something, it's like, oh, I actually sounded perfectly fine. It's just didn't feel like it from my angle. But anyway, I should be talking to people more. I've been kind of isolating in my own little world here, and it hasn't been the best for my mental health. Also, I just, because of being sick, I haven't worked out in the past week, and I haven't been doing anything physically, which I thought would be good for me, but I think it might be making me worse. I think I gotta stick to the whole thing I told myself I was gonna do, which is be active when you're in that state, but don't go overboard with it. As in just what I did just earlier. Just take a walk. Simple as that. I mean, so that's helped today, but I wasn't doing that throughout the week. And at first that was a good idea. At first it was definitely like, yeah, just do nothing, but like at a certain point you're doing too much of doing nothing. So plus I need to lose some fat and all that kind of stuff. I'm not like, I don't want to say I'm fat. I'm not as in shape as I want to be. That's most people. But like, I don't want to be, I don't know, I just want to feel better because I've been having a lot of gut issues, so that's been irritating. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully the traffic and stuff isn't like too loud. It shouldn't be. Sounds like it to me, but I think last time I tried to record one of these, I didn't end up posting it, but last time I recorded one of these, it ended up sounding fine. And that too, I'm having difficulty like kind of breathing. Oh, this is great for me. It is helping me relax though. It is helping me kind of just chill here, just take the edge off a little bit, I'm sober now, but it feels like I'm cheating when I smoke one of these because it does kind of like get you quote unquote high. The same thing if you do breath work. If you ever tried something like called breath work, that can make you feel like it. There's like this channel on YouTube called DMT breathing or something like that. Yeah, it can get you high just off your breath, which is a very popular thing for sober people to do. It's like, I want to do some of that breath work. But yeah, I've been kind of just working through stuff, kind of being hard on myself because I know I'm probably not going to be super fit. I want to work out again, but like, it's that ego thing, I gotta let that die. I did it before, I can do it again, right? Me, when I got to my best physically, the way I looked and how strong I was just a nice side effect to me focusing on myself being healthier, right? I got to remember that, right? Because it started off because I got sober last time on my own, And when I did, I got in shape. I really started focusing on myself, like my mental, or I started focusing on health first and foremost. But once I started noticing the results, once I started noticing how good I looked and all this kind of stuff, then that old demon came back. And it really proved to me that I never really got past those issues. You know, I just kind of like hid them away, and that's how I was able to quit on my own the first time. So like a lot of my issues were coming back up, like, you know, ego and stuff like that, you know. The thing that got me to look that good was because I was focusing on my health. But once it started to look that good, instead I started to focus on that again and be too anal about that, or be too hyperfixated on that, and then it was taken away from the healthy part. So I'm sitting here being all hard on myself because, I don't look that good. But then I gotta remember, it's like, you started to look that good because you started, you know, treating yourself healthier. But then when you started to look that good, you started to focus too much on that. So it's really stupid simple, but just focus on being healthy. That's all I gotta do, and whatever else is gonna fall into place. Either I'm gonna look super good again, or I'm gonna look how I do now, as long as I feel better. That's the important thing, definitely. And I'm sitting here talking about health while smoking a cigar, whatever. This isn't a super regular thing for me. It had been this week, just because I haven't done it in a while, but so it's not like, you know, a lot of cigarette smokers out there. I'm not doing it every day. I mean, I was doing it this past week, like every day, kinda. Yeah, most every day. Yeah, it's just like, you know, when I don't vocalize these things enough, they just kind of in my head a lot. You know, I think about these ridiculous things that I thought I was past, you know, and they creep back in my head. But then once I say them out loud, or I write them out, or I do something else, I'm like, no. It's easy to convince myself I haven't made any progress, but I've made a lot. You know, it's just like, we don't take inventory as often as we should, you know. That's actually what kind of sitting here smoking one of these helps me with. I have a lot of ash on that hand. Yeah. My journal's in there. I don't feel like getting it. It's something that was talking about me being like, I think I'm so scared of falling back. Actually, ironically, because I'm so self-aware, right? Because I know it has snuck up on me before. The real bad habits, the real bad patterns of thoughts, all that kind of stuff. You know, all the, you know, focusing on the wrong things instead of what actually matters. But I think trusting myself that I know that will make it better. Plus, those inevitable moments where I do fall backwards a little bit will be easier to handle if I'm just being real with myself about it. And I'm not like, oh my God, I fucked up again, you know. It's kind of just like, let it be, you know. Which is something I've been telling myself for the past few weeks. But as simple as that, you know. I think I'm overcomplicating it because I'm scared to move forward, you know. You know, that's why it's only been these kind of videos lately instead of the actual things I want to do. I'm not saying I don't want to do these. This is definitely something I still want to do, but like this is the only thing I've been doing lately, as opposed to, well, anything I can do right now. There's not much I can do here without my guitar and stuff, but like, you know, say other types of forms of videos, or like my writings and stuff like that. Because like, since I got my phone back, it's like, oh, now I can do stuff and actually put it out there. But like, now that I'm putting these videos out there, I'm being hard on myself about the work that nobody's going to see. Like, everyone needs to see it all the time. You don't need to. You're going to see the final products of things, but you don't need to constantly see this behind the scenes whatever just to make it validated for myself, or whatever the fuck I'm trying to do. I don't even know. I mean, I do know why I do that. I'm like, I'm still getting over that, you know, need for validation, that ego, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it takes time, you know. And part of me didn't want to do these because I felt like I was doing this because of that. But like, what kind of fucking validation am I get from doing these videos? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are not the kind of videos that people people go online to see. You know, they go to see, you know, titties and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't go on to see my ugly face. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, I'm trying to keep it lit. Yeah. Wait, no. It's, yeah. It's, I don't know. It does. I do have that feeling of, oh my god, I'm getting sick this week, all this kind of stuff. No matter what I do, there's always something. I should just give up, but like, it's just another trial again for me, I believe. Whatever comes towards me, whatever happens, it's gonna be, it is what it is. Shit's not always gonna be perfect, but like, it's still that old habit I have, of when I would be on social media and I would look at all these people that are quote doing better than me when they're not. And I don't think I'm ever gonna fucking re-download Instagram, because as strong as I am and as strong as I claim to be, I do fall victim to that of, the comparison game of, that. It's really easy to, because your brain knows it's not reality, but when it's kind of tricked into, like, I need to shave, cut my fingernails. It kind of, shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you gotta get tricked into thinking that's reality. Your brain gets tricked into it, because it's like, it's weird how it works. I don't really feel like explaining it, but like, yeah. So I definitely keeping off that unless I absolutely have to go on it for whatever reason. Yeah, it's the best move. But yeah, guess there's not much left to say. I went on here thinking there'd be this whole thing, but I always forget I have more under control in here than I think I do. It's just me focusing. God, that's horrible. It's me focusing too much on the outside. As much as I want to believe I'm not still doing that, I still do it. It's understandable. It's human. It's a shitty part of human nature, but it's human. To kind of not look inward as much as you should, or like, what am I trying to say? To not, I don't know, because the outside world it's still there. It's not like you can pretend like it doesn't exist. So it might catch you off guard. As much as you focus on yourself, you might find that it's creeping in your head, every now and then. Something someone said is still fucking with you, even though you thought it wouldn't. That's gonna happen. You just gotta catch yourself on it. But yeah. And I've been taking care of myself. Besides this, I've been taking care of myself better this past few days. Obviously, I forgot to trim my fucking nails. But, like, I took a shower, which I haven't done in the past few days. I was recognizing that this sickness was allowing me to get back into my depression and kind of not take care of myself enough. So I need to take care of myself again, but not overcorrect and push myself the way I did before. The reason I got fucking sick in the first place was pushing myself too hard, working out too hard, starving myself, all this kind of ridiculous shit. I guess I kind of gotta, like, figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day, and not make it a whole thing, not make it a whole, you have to do this, and this to be super productive. It's kind of just like, I do miss being home, and I do want to be home, and I do recognize that's part of this here. Part of me was like, part of me decided to stay on with this program because I was kind of scared to go back home, right? But then, as much as some parts of when I visited home recently, as much as parts of that were kind of hard, overall, it felt great to be back home, right? LA is not for me. It is foreign to me. It's not home. It's cool and all, but it's not home, it's not where my stuff is. I just want to get back to my life. I still, unfortunately, told them that I would stay out here till like the 23rd. I'll still try to get the best as program that I can while I'm here, but yeah, a big part of this is, I don't have my things. There's so much stuff that I want to do, and I know I'm ready to do now, but like I don't have the tools to do it here right now. Not all of them, at least. I definitely have, like, as far as my writing goes. When I was saying about like stuff that you won't see, it's like I'm writing this novel that I don't even know is gonna, if it's gonna amount to anything, or be like this big thing, but just something I need to do for me. When I was in rehab, I was really good at focusing on what I need. And then now that this is a form of rehab, but it's like a rehab where I have my stuff now. So now it's easy for me to forget about that. So I need to remember that you need to do stuff for you first and foremost, and then for whatever thing that's not you second. Right? Like, even if the thing is servicing other people, or helping other people, it's a lot easier to do that when you focus on yourself. When you're better at focusing on yourself, you're better at projecting that outwards towards other people. The way you behave towards other people is a reflection of you, definitely. So if you still got your own shit that you don't take care of enough, it's going to bleed into the way you treat other people. And it's not going to be the most obvious thing ever. It's not going to be, you're a bully and things like this. There just might be ways you treat people that you don't realize that you're treating them. There's things that you do that you don't realize, like, is a holdover from your past. This is, all we know is our past. All we know is what we know, right? So unfortunately, that could cause a lot of trouble. We can make up stuff. Like, it's not just me. There's a situation going on back home with some people where a lot of the way they're behaving is definitely a reflection of, it's a reflection of them. It's a reflection of their past behavior, and some things they're right to think and do, and then some things they're not, because it kind of like, the problem with this particular person I'm thinking of is they're not thinking enough about another person's point of view when it comes to things, unfortunately. Right? They're not listening. As good of a person as this person is, I firmly believe that they are, because I know them, but like, they don't listen enough to someone else's point of view when they disagree with them. That, like, I'm trying to say it without saying what's going on, but like, it's a very good example of the holding on to your past whatever that makes you act a certain way towards people, because you don't have your own, you haven't healed yourself as much as you think you have. And hell, that's just a lot of people. But this particular person's funny because I feel like they think they have when they clearly haven't. Like, not completely, at least. I mean, I don't know if anyone completely heals, but like, Anywho, not much else. It was really just me being in my head again, not doing enough to keep pushing forward, and, overwhelming myself with things that I feel like I have to do to make myself not go into that place. But I don't gotta overwhelm myself as much as I have been, like, and I know this, the best way for me to make progress going forward, even with the big projects and stuff, is just taking things one little step at a time. And I know this, but like, I forgot this past week because I was sick. I was like, oh, it's okay if I just do nothing, which was cool for like a minute, and then eventually that ended up being a bit much. So it's me being like, well, then if I go back to doing the productive thing again, then I'm just going to go overboard with that and exhaust myself with that and burn myself out with that. Well, don't do that. Yeah, and keep making these videos, keep yourself accountable. Don't make them as long as this one necessarily, and they will be shorter the more I don't have things that are bothering me as much. Same thing with my journal entries. I noticed that if I don't have as much, I still do it daily to keep myself accountable, but like there's some days where it's like 2 sentences, where it's like nothing, But don't make that think that all my problems are gone and I don't need to do it the next day. It's still something I need to do. It's just going to be different. And there's going to be things that come up. There's going to be things that come up that are going to make it come back to, oh, hey, this is some shit I really need to, like, delve into, like it is today-ish. This has kind of been a ramble, but kind of had some point to it. Yeah. And not focusing, doing these regularly will make me not focus as much as on my image, though, because that is something I realized once I turn this camera back on. It's like, I haven't done this in a minute. Oh man, how do I look? Oh god, I look horrible. All this kind of like dumb shit, or I sound horrible. Okay, whatever. It's not that deep, bro. Like you're fine. It's you're good. Everything's aight. Because I do notice myself getting really tense like I am right now. Like, even holding this camera up is being kind of difficult on me right now, my body, when it shouldn't be, because, like, I've proved I'm really a physically strong person. It's just, like, I get so tense all the time that it can make the small things seem difficult. The large things seem like nothing. Like, I can lift, like, hundreds of pounds and be fine. But once I do the little things in between, it's like my body's so tense that it makes it difficult for me to do those things, And it's like, how do I relax enough to let myself do that, And it's not just by, do nothing. It's just kind of like, relax. Relax doesn't automatically mean sit around, do nothing. Relax just means alleviate the pressure as you're doing something, which can be easier said than done for me. I've very much pressured myself my whole life, way too much. I put way too much on myself that I don't need to, and I still do it, clearly, and it's not really gonna necessarily disappear overnight. But instead of me being so hard on myself that I do that, because now that I realize that I do that, it's just, recognizing it and then just moving forward with it, not dwelling in it. Even it'd be so easy. It's so easy to, because it's so much like, oh, I wasn't always like that. Oh, I remember this moment where I did amazingly. Oh, it's never gonna be that great again. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Who gives a fuck? Animals don't give a fuck. Like they just kind of go about their day-to-day whatever. They don't. There's no, it's just moving forward with things the best you can. If you literally do the best you can in a day, and that might not be 100% of your potential as it is some other day, as long as it's the best that you can do that day, you can do no wrong. Truly. Simple as that. And I forget that sometimes, as much as I tell myself that. I forget that sometimes. It's so easy for me to forget. And yeah, I think I'm just ready to actually move forward. Because there's literally nothing stopping me but me. Really. Like, even these little things that I want to focus on of, I'm sick, so I can't do this. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do it the exact way you want to do it right now, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. So yeah. I think that's pretty much I think that's pretty much all I had to say. Yeah. It is the whole, like, can I make this a super profound video? Like, for some reason that needs to be a thing. It doesn't. This can be a nothing thing. It doesn't. It's whatever. Today's been a mellow day. so no point in me making it a whole thing, you know. Yeah. So, see you in the next one, I guess.